My name is Maribel Mendoza.
Kaylee Morrow.
Carolyn Niblett.
Aston Nalls.
Raised my hand. Okay, so we're going to start off with The Gates by Conolingus. So I don't know how to say that, but I guess should we talk about like what the song is basically about? Like this dead guy, and I think like I'm pretty sure he was white, and he's married to a white woman, and they had a baby who was white, I think, and at 16 she had a mixed race baby, and I think it says tone deaf. The dead guy says had to face the fact that she split these genes with his sixth seed, with skin the darkest pigment, and so I think that kind of implies that he was African American, maybe. I mean, I could be wrong, but and I guess this is kind of jumping into the middle or end of the song, but that's where the deacon, who I kind of think is the devil in this situation, he kind of uses that to say you're pretty much racist, yeah, and then tone deaf denies it, basically saying he's saved so many lives, including black, white, Latino, even Asian on occasion, but the deacon challenges that and challenges his motivations, and that further implies racism. I think just him challenging those his motivation, and he says the deacon says no need to second guess. Your only aim is to be famous. And then I put ... I might have skipped over something. But then black children left chilling, later found burnt whole. And that was sorry you guys, you can cut in if you want, but I found that was interesting because then the deacon sentenced tone deaf to an eternity of fighting fires, and it's kind of ironic because the song kind of implies that tone deaf was a firefighter, or had some sort of experience of fire in his life, and it's it's an eternity of fire. He's just gonna be fighting it and it'll never go out. And that's kind of like Sisyphus rolling the stone up the hill for an eternity, and it's always gonna roll back down, and he's gonna have to roll it back up. So yeah, but I basically thought that it touched on racism and death, tone deaf's attitude for death or towards death, because he kind of gave up on love when his wife died, and he died alone because of that. And he has to fight fires for eternity because he was racist, and that sucks. And it was kind of a pointless labor because you don't win. There's no victory over the fire, and that's kind of like Sisyphus. So I don't know if I'm doing this right, but I think so.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you guys have anything to add to that or questions?
So you said he was black, right?
I think he was. Tone deaf or the deacon?
Tone deaf.
I think he was white.
You said white. Okay.
Wait, did I miss something?
I think you said black at first, right?
Okay.
And did she say he was black, or I was the only one that thought it?
Not that his daughter had a mixed baby. That the father might have been black.
Yeah.
So the father.
The father of tone deaf's.
His
So
son-in-law.
his grandbaby's daughter.
Dad.
Okay.
Yeah, baby daddy.
Okay, I get it.
Was African American, I think.
Yeah, that's how I interpreted it too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same here.
But maybe he just had a nice tan or something, so you never know. But, oh wait, I'm not even looking for lyrics.
I know, I think it's one of the key lines to me that really just spoke out to the speaker's racism is split the genes with sick seed.
Yeah.
Like sick seed. It's just awful.
And above that, it says, like, the pristine dream is over. It's like everything's screwed up because his daughter slept with an African American dude. Like, yeah, that's insane.
Yeah, because the deacon speaks of this, like, how does that fit in with your picnic scene, like, your ideal, like, life,
Like the American dream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The dream is over, evidently, for the speaker. But then I don't know, I think it's interesting, he says, it's not her race, my daughter's love flies blind. Almost trying to, like, defend his daughter where she doesn't need to be defended, I feel like. Like, oh, my daughter just would love anyone. Her love is blind. But that, I don't know, seems like it's trying to excuse her for loving a African American man instead of just, like, accepting it.
Yeah. Wait, what do you think he means by after that line? I couldn't take her making the same mistakes that crushed my life. After he says, oh my, it's not her race, my daughter's love flies blind.
Maybe he married an African American
I feel like that's what I understood in Tasco.
That's what I thought. I remember thinking that initially.
Then he's
that
just like
white.
the biggest hypocrite
Right?
ever.
And it wouldn't make any sense.
I was like, of course she's white, because otherwise how could he be so, like, you know, like harsh on his daughter?
His first wife was black, and then he divorced her, and that second wife, and that's where his daughter comes from.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think he's trying to prove himself to the deacon as that. He says probably the deacon sees like, oh, you're racist, and he's like, oh, maybe it's a negative thing. And so he's trying to prove to the deacon he's not racist. Mm-hmm. And that, at the end, he says, you're racist, and so he went to hell. So I feel like this is the atonement level, the judgment period.
Yeah.
And so you're like, okay, now you're wrong, and you tried proving me at this point as like a lawyer almost.
Yeah.
And still gets denied.
Yeah.
That's what I picked up on this time.
And the speaker tries to kind of play that card, like, I have black friends, you know, like,
yeah.
I saved all kinds of babies, like, I'm not racist, but it's done at this point.
Actually, I think you guys are right about the tone deaf's wife being African American, because Deacon says a mixed race queen. That was your thoughts about her mama.
She might have been mixed.
This is so confusing now. I'm getting all the people mixed up in here.
Tone deaf mentions in his first verse, kind of last time, that would struggle to blend in, talking about his baby girl. So it seemed like she was mixed herself.
Oh.
His daughter was mixed.
Oh yeah, I totally missed that.
Yeah, so just interesting that he would be talking down upon.
That it would ruin his picnic life.
Yeah.
You know? Even
maybe his child was born like mostly white looking.
Yeah.
But like fair. But then if he has this like perfect picnic picture of this like white family, then like you have mom over here who's obviously not white if she's a mixed race queen. Could she be anything other than African American? The mom? I guess she could be anything.
Mm-hmm. Just a woman of color.
Yeah.
But see, the thing is, the deacon said is black children, deaf children. I don't know. I feel like of all the races he chose black.
Yeah.
Like Latino, like he says, Asian, but he chose that. I don't know if that black also refers to like the fire, so when you get burned, you become charcoal. That's what I first thought of it, and I was like, I'm not sure about that. So,
that's so interesting. That's good. Wait, is the thing still going?
Yeah.
Okay.
Totally.
Sorry.
No, it
Okay.
is.
Oh, 10 minutes. We should probably
Oh,
move on,
sorry.
right?
No, wait. We're good. We gotta like speak everything. we
I
want.
just wanted to mention, she pointed out how, what's his name? Epicurus' letter. He mentions that death and life never really cross paths, but here in the first verse, he mentions that it kind of does. Just like when his wife dies and then his baby girl is born. It's kind of like a crossing path of life and death.
And kind of also with the crossing path, like the life he led is affecting his death. Like his fate in death.
Oh, that's true.
So,
I
yeah.
get all excited when you guys speak in words. I feel like I'm born. So the next one is My Life by Foxy Brown. I feel kind of bad, but I find this song kind of funny. Just 'cause I don't know, something about it. Maybe it's just the name Foxy Brown. It's like,
But not the artist.
yeah, I don't know. I just feel like that's a really cheesy name to make for yourself. Anyways, that's
In the
irrelevant.
90s.
Yeah, I feel like it was the 90s. Anyways, does anyone want to open with this one, or I don't mind opening with it too.
I just feel like her self-reflection of herself is kind of in the ghetto. I mean, she talks a lot about pimping and like being broke and stuff. Just like reminds me a lot of where I come from in the Bay Area, and it's like kind of people's realities.
Yeah. I mean, it's very real for a lot of people, and that's why it's not actually funny, but something. I think it was the picture that showed up on the screen.
Yeah,
She
she was
really
almost ratchet.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you guys know what COOPS stands for. I didn't know what it meant.
But
Oh,
those
sorry.
co-ops.
Oh, co-ops.
Wait, what
Oh,
is
that's that's valid. At the second paragraph.
Oh,
introduced
to COOPS.
Yeah, introduced to COOPS. So I googled definition of COOPS, and people were saying it's a chicken coop. I was like, that's weird, but it kind of makes sense because a chicken coop is, I mean, when you think of chickens, I mean, I think they're cute, but most people would probably say they're dirty animals, and they're it's the idea of them being enclosed in a cage. And I think she probably feels like the speaker is closed up, trapped in this life that she thought she wanted. Or maybe the coops was I don't know. What's that?
Like her hood, where
Yeah.
she's from.
Yeah, I feel like
kind of
it symbolizes some sort of enclosure or entrapment or something. And yeah, and there's, I don't know, I feel like, did you guys feel like Sisyphus was probably lonely? Did you get that feeling?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's how they relate. This song and Sisyphus, there's just a lot of emptiness and loneliness, and even though she has kind of a lavish lifestyle, as far as materialistic things go, it's not what she thought kind of that it would be probably. Kind of she has the whole world, but it's all meaningless.
Yeah.
And her task as a prostitute itself is kind of meaningless. Well, yeah, I feel bad saying that,
That's her reality.
but yeah,
But
and she knows that because she acknowledges it, and this song is like kind of a cry out for like love, and she kind of also has like, I guess this feeds into her wanting love, but she kind of has like daddy issues, so to speak, because her dad wasn't around. I think I can't remember where it said that. They got that somewhere.
Ask mommy every day when
Yeah,
we go
yeah. So her dad wasn't around, and then her partner or significant other cheated on her while she was around, like on tours, and so that just like feeds into her. She doesn't have like that either, like the fatherly love that she needs, and like the more of like the romantic love that she needs. So she's just like, desperate for it. It's sad.
Yeah, I feel like the song is spoken at a point where her life could go very much in two ways. Like it's on the cusp. And she says like sometimes she just wants to sort of wrist and end it all and drown in the pain. But also I think that there is a lot of potential to like conquer your fate. That is similar to Sisyphus and how Camus saw him as this kind of strong despite everything.
The absurd hero.
Yeah, the absurd hero. So I think Foxy Brown could very much be an absurd hero, or she could be, like drowning in all of this.
Yeah, definitely. Do you guys want to add anything to that, or
just to piggyback on that, her second to last line, or even the third, 'cause it ain't always what it seemed on TV shit, but this is my 9 to 5 y'all. And then she talks about sitting her wrist. It just kind of ties back to the last paragraph in Sisyphus, or the myth of Sisyphus, where it's like we work so hard, but in the end, do we really have the happiness we want from all this work? So it's just kind of like a reality even today that we face. Do you want to ask something?
You guys get all my points that I have written down.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
You guys should like tell me if I'm talking too much or.
It's good. Sorry. Next one, then?
Yeah.
Sure. This one I loved our discussion in class for.
I have a lot of notes on this.
Yeah, I thought it was so interesting when we talked about like the misogynistic aspects. I loved listening to that discussion. It made me think a lot. So essentially he is in love with this woman who he puts on a pedestal, which I think is like a really problematic place to put someone, because they can only look down on you on a pedestal. I don't know, and he just, I don't know, I just think it's a really interesting look at his relationship with women, because she made him bitter. Like, she made him turn off all love, like, it's not an option anymore. Yeah, so he paints her as this dream girl that's above all women, and he can't help but feel bitter when it crumbles. And I was also really curious, one thing that kind of confused me was what was the speaker trying to convey? Because it's called You Never Know, and he ends it with like, you don't know what you got till it's gone. But that very much doesn't seem like the point of the song to me.
Yeah, it seems like he kind of knew what he had, right?
Or just...
Well, he said that he's reflecting this as he's an old man. So all this is a memory. So which goes with how he ends the song, you never know until what you really got after. Let's say like someone's has a wonderful wife, cooks for him breakfast, lunch, and dinner. The day she passes away, and now who's cooking his breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah.
So now you never know what you have until you lose it.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I got.
I feel like that's maybe what I don't know, maybe he intended that to be the object of the song, but that's not what I got from it. Like, I very much, maybe I just got really caught up in everything else because it's such, like, it's so dense and there's so much happening. But to me, it was more of a story of how he turned cold and bitter. And I think he could have, I don't know, potentially moved on and found love again, but, like, he made the choices to not.
Yeah, he was kind of just stuck on that experience and like blocked all other love is what we were discussing. And then what was really interesting is that they brought up that at this point he's like also blocking out all the beneficial factors like of learning and forgiving from that experience and moving on with it instead of like, but in his situation he's just kind of like living in the past instead of moving on.
Yeah.
What I also picked up from this was this girl he puts on his pedestal is she's this rock. And he's pushing it up as he's like, oh, I'm happy with being with her. But the day she passes, he has a hard time coping with it. And so he's still pushing the rock up. And I thought, but this as physics, the higher you get up, gravity force is stronger.
Yeah.
And he's struggling, and that's why he can't go forward. So he's literally at a standstill on the hill. That's what I thought of it.
I'm picturing like the vector. Oh my god. I liked the forces a lot. But anyways, let me see if I have anything other than what you guys said.
Oh, you know what? I want to ask you guys' opinion. Did you think he doesn't respect women? That was one of the things I had.
I kind of think he doesn't.
You think he doesn't?
I think the way that he talks about the other women, like, that aren't her, how he... all the words he calls them because they're not pure and respectful, like, because they choose to live their lives differently for reasons that he didn't even know why she would abstaining from sex, you know? I think he just holds himself to very different standards than he holds women to.
I agree. I don't think that he respects women, and I think I made a point in class about this, but it was like I didn't really think about it thoroughly enough. But when he called them like the other girls sloppy. And I can't even find it right now.
It's like, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and well, just saying that like they envy her, and they're always like the other girls are always trying to copy her, but they're obviously like they can't do it. They're not successful. They're just not her. And I think the professor asked me if that applied to like women in general or just like the women around him. But then again, I think that he's kind of confined to the women that are around him, like in his radius, like, you know, so many miles away from his home. That's his world. Just like, you know, here in Santa Cruz, the people we see here, like, that's our world. And we don't know if there's like this amazing person like halfway across the world. Like, we're confined to where we are, and so unless he like picks up his stuff and moves and like goes in search of another girl that's like the one that he's talking about, I think that it does apply to like the women in general, because his like general is like what's around him. That makes sense?
It does.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I know, I just didn't see him as not respecting women. I mean, maybe because I have viewed how not viewed exactly, but I can see it, I can relate to it very much. Because if you're searching for the one, you already know what you want. Like, oh, she has to have black hair, she has to be 5'4", all that, and then everyone else is indifferent to your what you like. That's why I don't know when in class she's like, oh, he doesn't respect me. And I was just like, no, I wouldn't say that. I mean, there's words, but then again, like you said, the world we're confined to is also the language you convey and all that. So what some people call, like, oh man, slow, whatever, and things like that, compared to another neighborhood, it's say ma'am or whatever. Like the South, they say
Yeah.
ma'am instead of, oh, they
Yeah.
say little lady.
Yeah. I think maybe he doesn't necessarily not respect women, but I do think that he was trying to use a woman to save himself and not really seeing her as a person completely. Like he kind of molded himself to her, like she bought him new books and then as soon as she was gone that was over. You know, he didn't I don't know, I kept getting caught up on this like his image of her being this like perfect, beautiful thing just kind of made her not human.
Also, I think it's kind of funny because he never really got to like experience her. Like he saw these characteristics in her that he really thought he liked, and probably believed that he liked and wanted, but they were never. I mean, in the song they like hung out and went on a date and whatnot. But like, I'm sure you guys have like been in a relationship where you like have you think that some sort of quality of someone is like great, but then you find out like you actually don't like that about them, like your thought about that, like just, it can change your views. Does that kind of make sense? Like he hasn't really gotten to like experience her in the
intimate way?
well, in just like over an extended period of time. Like my mom's always told me like you never really know a person until like it could take years, but she's like at least 1 year like with them, like you don't really know them that well. And I don't know how long they were, hanging out in this song, but it's just so different when you're like in that stage where you're kind of like before boyfriend or girlfriend, you're kind of like in that honeymoon stage, and then once you're like actually together, then like you get comfortable with each other, and like the honeymoon stage like sort of wears off, I guess. I don't know if I'm really like saying that correctly, but yeah. When you could think like you really want to live with someone, and then I hear like a lot of people when they move into someone and they're like, oh my gosh, this person's a slob, or like they actually find out like I actually cannot live with this person, and so I guess that's what I'm kind of saying, like that's when you really get to experience someone.
Yeah.
So
yeah, just questioning how well he really knew her.
Yeah.
He was also very young, kind of like.
Yeah. So like before college or something.
Yeah. So to have this experience when you're so young, and then from it be cold and bitter and turn love away completely. I don't know. It's a little not silly, but I guess I can't really relate. It's intense. Yeah, it's very intense.
I got the feeling that he was kind of obsessed with her because he says in his first verse, the last line, I was sick in the head for her and there wasn't a cure. And just like the fact on verse 3, he was like, though gone physically, somehow it was still there, talking about her voice and beautiful smell of her hair. He basically was like going crazy in his head about her. It's like he's obsessed. I don't even know, like super infatuated. And it's just like, I guess that can happen at a young age because you don't really know what love is, and then you experience it for the first time. It's like, whoa, kind of eye-opening, and yeah, I don't know. He kind of just lived in that moment for the rest of his life, it seems.
I almost feel like he might have like built a shrine for her at his house, isn't it? Like smell her hair, like how her hair walk.
Well, from a guy's perspective, I don't know. I'm not saying we objectify women as objects, but in guy physiology, it's really seen that guys hold girls as property, if that's the right way to say it. But I don't agree with it. But like, it's my wife, and that's why you see men jealous when they're
Yeah.
like another man's near their wife. They're like, so what are you doing? That's my wife. See, like the possession word's already in there, mine, and that's what the pedestal usually.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, a wife is usually a guy's trophy.
Yeah.
And that's what another thing is.
And
what's
there's
this
nothing
for?
wrong with that too. Like he's proud of her. He's proud to like have her as his wife, I guess. So yeah, that's a really good point.
But I just feel like that level of like infatuation makes it hard to see that she is like a complicated, flawed human. When you hold them to this like esteem level.
My mom also says love is blind. So yeah. Should we go to the next song?
How we doing on time?
It's 30
Let's just
minutes.
go like maybe 40, so just in case there's
Yeah.
awkward moments of silence.
Yeah, there was a go.
Yeah.
Like that one.
And then next time is.
Is there any song in particular that we want to focus on since we have like 4 or 5 choices?
Maybe should we talk about? I mean, I don't know. Do you guys want to talk about like the Sisyphus and like the absurd hero, or is that like?
I think
Or
yeah.
or do you guys want to talk about a song?
It doesn't matter.
I don't mind. Whatever. I'm flexible.
I'm flexible
Come on,
too.
Karen. No, don't do
I think it's kind of fun to talk about Sisyphus. I think that's an interesting story, but like the songs are kind of easier to talk about.
Yeah.
I mean, we can go back and forth. How we're
Yeah,
doing.
we can touch back on it.
Okay. Does anyone want to pick a song? Like a last song?
Do you want to do Papa Was a Player?
Yeah, I was gonna say
Okay,
that's
there you go.
that.
I like that. I thought that had some cool like. I don't know.
I love house.
Something I kind of got from this song was like, a theme in there was empathy, because like, the speaker is talking about like his experience as a child with 2 parents who did not get along, and his father's always gone, and I think he witnessed his like father cheating on his mother, and like his mom was crying at home like when like his father was gone or something like that. She was crying, and his father was doing drugs, but that didn't affect the relationship and how he respected his father still, because he does go on to be like his father, and I think he sort of justifies like his father's actions and decisions, and has like, I don't know if empathy is even the right word for it, but
Yeah.
okay, you get
I
what
agree.
I-
Yeah, he
okay.
definitely empathizes with his father's situation, and he doesn't. I don't know. I thought the line in the chorus, "Papa was a player, player wasn't Papa," was really cool. Because I interpreted it as he sees his father as this thing that is a player, but his father's entire identity isn't a player. He's still very much like all these other things to him, and a good father, and he doesn't blame himself in any way for his father's actions.
Yeah.
In a way, he's kind of thankful that he was always there no matter what. Like, I don't even know what verse this is, the last one. He says, a child young, or he actually says, before he left me, he taught me something. A child's young years, the most important time to be there. Just like he's gonna probably want to be there for his children, instead of like, say if his father would have left, he probably would have been that kind of person too. So I think that's a good quality that he taught him.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's kind of opposite in some ways of the Immortal Technique song, because he can see his father as like this really complicated person, but still love him and understand him. So I don't know, it's a completely different like type of relationship in the 2 songs, but just seeing how they can do more than one quality, I guess.
I find how this ties into like Epicurus or like Sisyphus? I don't know. Did you guys catch anything?
No, I have one on this.
I have like
Do we
a
already
tiny
make that?
paragraph.
Yeah, and she even skipped on it too. It's pretty fast.
I guess happiness.
Yeah.
He was still happy regardless of
Oh yeah.
the issues that his parents
Oh,
were going through.
The absurd hero kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Like the
Yeah.
power of attitude
Mm-hmm.
towards the situation.
Like he understood that his dad was doing what he was doing, but kind of accepted that he was still gonna be there regardless. Which is weird, even if he saw his mom in pain. I don't know. Usually kids like go against the person hurting the other parent.
Yeah, it's hard for me to relate in that way to him because I have no idea what I would like do in that kind of situation.
Yeah.
How I could perceive my parents. Because I remember there was a time just in my life where most of my life growing up, I didn't really see them as people, they were just my parents. And then one day I got older and I was like, wow, they're wrong sometimes, and like they have problems, and that was like a revelation. So I feel like from a very young age he saw his father as a person, like a flawed human being, and loved him unconditionally.
It also feels like, just one more thing, that his father was kind of like his rock. Because he mentions that basically he was always standing up behind him, like his first fight or whatever.
Yeah. His first fight.
His first steps. He was kind of just like always there to take honor with him in his first achievements and all that. I don't know about the fight, but
Yeah. Good job, team. Wait, what's our team name? Are we supposed to say that? Maybe at the beginning? We'll just
we're
say it at the end.
Fiasco, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, go
I
ahead.
don't remember, but just in case it's in there. Yeah.
I-
Or maybe that's for our notes.